Hi everyone, it's Marilyn Alori and welcome to Who Can It Be Now? I wanted to share a meditation with you, and before I do that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I work. And I'm going to say something that's going to sound egotistical, but it's not. I'm really known for my meditations. And there's many reasons as to why that is. One of the reasons is that my guides are very good at guided meditations. I never know what they're going to do. They work through me, and they really know how to take people through a journey of experience, learning their gifts, diving deep, aligning with their soul, tapping into their wisdom. It's just, they're really very, I can't even find the words for them because they're a great experience, really. It's an entire experience, no matter what the meditation is. I never have it planned when I go into it. I just get into my meditative state, I get into my channeled state, and I deliver the meditation. So, I want to share this particular meditation with you for a few reasons. One is this is one of the meditations that I did in Next Level Living. And Next Level Living is my main course right now, and people are having incredible breakthrough. They are discovering things about themselves that they didn't know existed. I feel like they knew it existed, but they couldn't put words to it, or they couldn't make it a tangible experience. And through the work that we're doing, they're having these really deep relationships with themselves, really aligning with their truth, aligning with their soul, tapping into their wisdom. They are just accelerating in all areas, and they are recognizing their gifts and the visibility of their gifts. Like, I think a lot of times spiritual entrepreneurs struggle with visibility, and they are understanding not from an ego state, but from a very grounded, tapped in, rooted in place. Like, this is what they're meant to do. And it's, you just can't do anything but get it out. You have to get your work out there. So I share all of that with you because it is the main program that I'm focused on, and I wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of it right here, but also because we are accepting applications if you're interested in joining us. So you can go to marilynaloria.com/next and read about it, and the price is on there. Everything is on there. Fill out an application, and I will look at it and get in touch with you. And if I feel like we're a fit, we'll jump on a call real quick and to see if you have any questions and to make sure it is the right thing for you to do. I don't do salesy pitches. I'm not into it. I'm only interested in inviting people in that are a right fit for the program. And when we have a conversation, they recognize, yeah, this is what I need right now, or this is what I want to do. So with that said, I wanted to share another thing that came through my email box just recently from a student of mine. She was sharing how my guided meditations really helped her and helped her to accelerate in her own life. And she was in a class where the teacher brought her through a meditation and then left them on their own devices, to their own devices. And she said that had she not done meditations with me the way that I teach them and do them, she may have been frozen. But because she had done this with me, she was able to go through an incredible experience and really discover amazing things. So I wanted to share this with all of you because I have tons of meditations. They really can alter your experience in life, your makeup, how you're wired, so many things. It just has so many great benefits. And I figured, okay, let me share a meditation with all of you so you can get a taste of it. I haven't listened to this one. I just chose it. And I think you'll all really like it because I have a bunch of them. And I was like, which one do I want to do? And I'm giving you this one. So you're going to hear a little music and then you're going to go into the meditation. Now, here's the thing. My meditations are pretty strong, pretty powerful. If you have a struggle with closing your eyes, you can do this with your eyes open. Just let your eyes focus on a blank wall, or you can even allow your eyes to wander and just listen to the words. There's a lot of energy and vibration and information inside the vibration of my voice when I do these meditations. So you're going to get the benefits no matter what. You can do it while you're walking. Just be very aware because they're strong, some of them, right? So if you don't know where you're going and you don't know how to manage your own physical body while you're in a meditative state, then you could get hurt. And I don't want you to do that. Definitely don't listen to it if you're in the car. And the best place to do it, obviously, is sitting quietly someplace with your eyes closed and just allow allow it to unfold. And don't beat yourself up for it if you fall asleep. I get that sometimes because it's so deep. That's okay. If your mind wanders, let it wander. It's okay. There's no right or wrongs in doing this. Just let yourself have the experience. This particular meditation that I'm giving you is about claircognizance, and claircognizance is knowing, deep knowing. I taught this in Next Level Living, and it is a very profound gift, in my opinion. I think all the gifts are pretty profound. Claircognizance is when you have downloads. Clairaudience is more linear. When you hear something, it sounds more like a sentence. It'll be like more of a linear information. Claircognizance is a download of a ton of information in a split second. So I think everything is multidimensional. So I can't say that clairaudience is more singular dimension and claircognizance is more multidimensional. When you learn how to really read and understand your guides from a multidimensional level, you are communicating in this world from a multidimensional place. And I really feel like that's what I do. I feel like that's what my community does in Next Level Living is we are experience this world in a multidimensional place, but we're also very practical and grounded and are able to exist in this earth plane from that space. So I don't go into teaching claircognizance in this particular meditation. I do believe I have one podcast about it. But the best thing I can say to you is, because there's different places you could feel it, you have to understand how you're getting the information. But for me, it jumps in, it just falls into my system through my crown chakra. But there are certain chakras that I open that I know are connected to it. And I can tell you in a nanosecond, I can know the entire story of something. And I'm sure a lot of you have this experience. A lot of you. I think a lot more people are claircognizant than they realize. So go into this meditation. When I did this class in Next Level Living, I'm trying to recall it all because most of my classes are channeled. What was so fascinating about this is we went into living things and got the claircognizant information from that thing. So I believe like I had them go into the petal of a rose and to get the claircognizant information in the petal of the rose. And that might sound crazy to some of you, but if you feel into it and lean into it, one of the things about my teaching, I know I'm segueing, but it'll make sense. One of the things about my teaching is I don't live in the box. I am all about out of the box thinking, out of the box living, out of the box existing, out of the box philosophies. We'll say that since I can't say the other word. So my guides know that. So they will take them into experiences that are out of the ordinary. And because of that, they are able to tap into innate things inside of them that allow their instrument to light up so they can use their gifts in a natural way for them. So it's not about reading about claircognizance and then trying to repeat exactly what you read. I teach a specific thing around the particular psychic gift, but then we dive in different ways so that you experience it for yourself on a whole other level. You can't read that stuff in a book. You can't get that by comparing yourself to someone else. That's one of the worst things that people do when they're developing their gifts. They'll be like, oh, why is she seeing images that way and I'm not? I must not be good at it. No, you're just not learning how to use your instrument. You're not learning how images come to you. So claircognizance is not, I haven't seen it widely taught out there. It might have been when I was learning, there was nothing about it. So my guides had to teach me, and there wasn't the internet the way it is today. So I'm sure people have touched on it out there. So it's an interesting gift to teach because you really have to know how you're getting information, and then you have to understand the world of it. So when I started recognizing that I was claircognizant, it was, I would see a billboard. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news for years. And this is, like I said, before Google. So you weren't like getting slammed in the face with news. I remember seeing a billboard when I was driving, and it was like a news report. The sound, I couldn't hear it or anything. I was in my car and I saw it for a split second and I knew the entire story. And I went and looked it up and I was like, oh my goodness, I got that. And I started realizing that's what claircognizant is. And I started learning more about it. Like I could pick up a book and maybe read a page or two and then know the entire premise, the entire book. I could meet someone and they wouldn't even have to say a word and I would know their entire story. So you may be like, oh my goodness, that happens to me. That happens to me. That's claircognizance. So it shows up in many, many different ways. And when you learn to use it, it is such a beautiful language to have with the universe. It is quite, I keep saying the word profound. A lot of times I can't find words, not only because my vocabulary sometimes I'm like, ooh, but mostly because they don't speak to me in words. And it's in vibration, and then I have to interpret it. And what they're speaking is so much bigger and higher and greater than I have the vocabulary for. So then I have to find the words in my vocabulary to try to explain it to you. So enjoy this meditation. I know that you'll like it. And if you're interested in learning more about Next Level Living, go to marilynnaloria.com/next and check it out and explore it. You know, I think some people, it's definitely for the decision makers. So if you're somebody who just sits on the fence most of your life and is waiting till tomorrow to take action, this course is not for you. If you are somebody who really is ready to create change in your life, this course is for you. If you're afraid of creating change, that's normal. That does not mean the course isn't for you. This is a live, ongoing, year-long program. And fill out the application. You have nothing to lose. marilynnaloria.com/next. You're going to hear a little music, and then you'll go into the meditation. Enjoy. Hi everyone, this is Marilyn Aloria and welcome to the Claircognizance meditation. Before I dive into the meditation and see where they take me, I want to just share with you a little bit of what's been coming up for me after I taught this class to you. Claircognizance for me feels like it's so much more than what I've ever understood it to be. It is a infinite language, a universal language, a space where we get to visit and really tap into infinite wisdom, even what goes beyond our understanding of infinite wisdom. Because when we use the words infinite wisdom, we right away put it in a container, like we understand what that means. So it's the place where you let go of understanding, you let go of reason, you let go of parameters, and you allow yourself to be, to really be. It's a place that lacks fear. It's a place that is only filled with love. It's a place where it's very difficult for me to find words for. Because what they're asking us to do in claircognizance is to really experience the state of being, the state of connection and oneness. So I want you to play with claircognizance in many different ways. I want you to really think about diving into the center of things, whether it's a word, visualizing a word and putting yourself in the middle of it to get the deeper understanding of what that word is. Or if you're looking up at the sky and you see a star or a planet or the moon, dive into it and get into the center of it. It feels like it's rooted in the center of all being. And for me to explain that, I wouldn't be able to. I could only claircognizantly understand at this moment what they are putting through me. But even in the next moment, that's going to shift and change. And in the next moment and the next moment. So it feels like out of all the gifts for me at this moment in time, and I'm sure this is going to shift now as a domino effect to all the other gifts, that it's an opportunity to always be in expansion and growth and limitlessness. So as you just digest what I just said and have your own understanding of it, which is perfect, just breathe that in and breathe in what it would feel like to always be tapped into knowing. And the other thing that's been coming up for me with knowing is a state of peace and a state of your truth, my truth, your truth, whatever your truth is. So when you're in the knowing, you're in your truth. And no one can talk you out of it. So claircognizance is taking you to your truth, your ultimate truth. And that too is going to shift and change as your consciousness changes, as your experience changes, as you educate yourself, and as you grow and as you learn. So close your eyes and breathe into your state of being. And don't try to make sense of most anything I say today. If I say breathe into your state of being, what does it mean to you? Or where does your claircognizance want to take you? What does it feel like to breathe in your state of being? Where do you notice the end of your breath going when you breathe into your state of being? When you breathe out your state of being, how does it feel? Take a couple of cycles of breath, breathing into your state of being, and then breathing out your state of being. Notice what it does to your feeling about yourself, how you feel about yourself. Imagine knowing your exact truth in every moment. How would it feel to always know in every moment your truth? How would it shift you in terms of responding to situations and people? What state of being would you live in? Would it be a state of peace, a state of love, a state of neutrality? What state of being do you feel like you would be living in most of the time if you were always aligned and rooted in your truth? Just breathing in that right now, take a situation in your life and ask yourself, what is your truth in that situation? And just be with that for a moment. Respond to the situation from your place of truth. Are you still unsure, or are you clear? Now think of something that you would really like to create in your life. Some type of goal you succeed at. And put the image of that in front of you in a bubble. And you may be watching this event of a goal being succeeded in front of you in this bubble. And just watch it right now. And as you watch it unfold in front of you, breathe into that state of being, that knowing. And as you exhale out, send your breath into that experience. Don't try to manipulate anything. Let it unfold. Even if you're no longer seeing it, notice how you feel. Now step into this vision with all your knowing and engage with the you in the vision and get clear as to what your truth is. Is this what you really desire? Is it not what you desire? Or are you dreaming about it from a place of lack, from past experiences? Engage with this experience, engage with the you in this experience, and get to your truth. And ask the being in the vision, what is it that you truly want? What is your truth? With that wisdom, come back into your present state, into your physical being. And I want you to breathe in your body. And I want you to notice if there's any kind of color or sound that wants to be present in your physical being right now as you breathe in all this truth. Now I want you to bring into your awareness a difficult situation that you're having right now, or maybe a decision you have to make that you're struggling with, or maybe something that's happened in your recent past that you feel unsettled in. So take a moment now to bring that into your awareness. Notice where that situation lives inside your physical body. And notice why. Bring in a claircognizant understanding as to why that difficult situation lives in that physical place in your body. Now, you may not get the full-on answer, but that's okay. Just being in the question is enough. Notice if you've gotten deeper understanding how it feels, and is that aligned with your truth? Now I want you to pick something that you have a very high regard for. That could be an ascended master, it could be a planet, it could be a color, it could be a sound, it could be somebody in history that you admire. But what I'm going to ask you to do may feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to give you a decision to make before you do the next part. But right now, notice if me saying what I'm going to ask you to do is going to make you uncomfortable, if that has altered what you want to work with. Don't let that happen, and choose something that you really regard to the highest degree. Like I have a star in the sky that I just resonate with so much. And it just makes me feel fully embraced in love. So you want to pick something that has the highest vibration for you right now. Whatever you've chosen, mine is shifted to a person. Whatever you've chosen, put it in front of you. Now, as you breathe with this being, this planet, whatever this thing is, I'm going to use the word thing. Notice how it feels to breathe with it. And as you're breathing with it, and what I mean by that is you're sending it breath, and then when you're inhaling, it's giving you breath. And then as you're exhaling, you're giving it breath. I want you to understand and embrace the oneness that you have with this thing. And again, I'm using the word thing. It could be a person, it could be a planet, it could be anything at all. It could be a tree, but we're going to use the word thing to identify it. When you're breathing with it, and I'm going to get quiet in a second, I want you to acknowledge in your breath that you both give each other life, that there is a connection of oneness between the two of you. Notice how you feel giving it breath and receiving breath. Notice if your mind was tripping you up, if there was a feeling of lack of worth that came in, or if it felt amazing. Do your best to take any defining moment of this experience and neutralize it. And what I mean by that is you take away all attachment to it. So if I'm breathing with this thing, and it's a very powerful thing, do I feel as I send it breath and it receives my breath any lack of worth? Or do I feel worthy? Either one, you want to dissolve that experience to a neutralized state so that all you're doing is being. So do that now. You're breathing with this thing, you're sending it breath. It is receiving your breath. And then it's sending you breath and you're receiving its breath. And through these cycles of breath, all you're experiencing is neutrality. And that could be represented in peace. But it basically does not have a trigger in it of happiness, sadness, loss, greatness. You're trying to define it as neutrality, peacefulness, and just, best way to say it is neutrality. Now that you are on equal footing with this thing, you are now going to go into the center of its being. Before you do that, you may have already gone into it, and that's okay. Remember, there's no right or wrongs. I want you to do your best to be in the experience of what it's like for you to be in the center of the being. Now, when you go into the center of the being, you're going to try and define it. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'd like you to do is be the observer in this experience and notice how you want to define it. And then I'll give you your next instruction. So you're going to go into the center of the being of this thing. And I want you to observe and notice how you experience it. What you're feeling, would you define that as truth for yourself? I don't know that we can live a physical existence without definition, but we always want to be observing how we're defining things and if it's for our highest good. So what you're experiencing right now in the center of this being, would you define this as a truthful experience for yourself? How would you define it for yourself? Is it aligned with your truth, whatever you're feeling? Now, as you're in the center of this being, which is also you, I want you to take that difficult situation and see if you have a solution. Notice if you jump into your head. Notice if you have a lot of feeling towards it. And then try to neutralize in the center of the being and just see what's available to you. Just notice what it wants to provide in terms of wisdom towards a solution. So you're jumping into you're in the center of the being and you're bringing up that difficult situation. And you're just noticing if there is a solution available to you from the center of this being. You're also observing your attachment to the outcome. And you're going to detach from the outcome and allow the being and your meldedness with this being to see if there's a solution. Thank this being for the help that you've gotten. You can revisit this again and come back into your physical being, your physical space, detach from it. Notice if there's any cords or energy between the two of you. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you choose, you can ask Archangel Michael to cut those cords and allow them to dissolve into the earth. And allow the being, if you desire, to dissolve into the earth. Notice how your state of being is now, how you feel. And take a moment now to find your biggest takeaway from this experience, your biggest truth. What is the claircognizance of this moment? What is your deep knowing of this moment? Claircognizance isn't only a download of information that could be fill paragraphs of a book or pages of a book. Claircognizance is the depth of the information. So it could be one piece, one word, but it's the depth of that word that is the claircognizant nature of it. And what I mean by that is just feel into that. If a word was to drop into the middle of your center of your being, the word love, you could never define that word with one sentence. And that goes for everything in life. There is so much more depth to every single thing. So just breathe into your physical being, knowing there's so much depth to you. And that depth doesn't go to the bottom of the earth. That depth also goes way out into the infinite intelligence connecting to source. And it actually goes beyond that even. So just breathe into your physical being, knowing that you have a different understanding, and define it for yourself at this moment with the opportunity for it to always grow and change. Notice how you feel. Breathe into your toes, into your fingertips. Into all your physical body. Call your spirit into your body. Touch parts of your physical body to acknowledge your physical body so that you can pull more of your spirit into your body. You can say your name to yourself 3 times, calling your spirit into your body even more. You can pound your feet on the ground, hands on chair. You can recall what color clothing you're wearing. All these things bring you into your physical being. When you're ready, open your eyes. So you can do this with anything, absolutely anything. You can step into the center of color. You can step into the center of a wall. You can step into the center of a wooden plank. You can step into the center of the moon. You could be walking outside and step into the center of a tree. It's all awareness. And notice what happens when you do that and the vibration. And at this point, I would choose things that you highly regard and you vibrate highly with. And just notice how that stepping into something can shift your energetic and physical makeup. And you don't need to have the full understanding of what takes place in that shift. And Spirit's also saying you could step in with an intention as well. So say you're walking and you see the moon out at night and it's just beautiful and it's calling you. And you have this intention of understanding how to sit in peace even more in your life, or an illumination. And you can set that intention for yourself, and as you're looking at the moon, just step inside it with your eyes open. And it could be a nanosecond, and you notice how it feels. Allow this process to unfold for you, and allow it to be yours. Because what Spirit just said to me now is, this type of teaching that I'm doing with all of you, and you know this, is, how do I say this? I have to find the words for it because it's claircognizant. The type of teaching is a direction for you to be the ultimate teacher within yourself. It's a navigational tool for you to turn on, tap into, light up that teacher inside of you. So everything that I offer up to you can be redefined in your own way, played with in your own way. And if you discover some incredible magical way that you love to play with this, by all means share it with everyone else. Bring your magic to the table and allow us all to witness it. Thank you so much. Make sure that you stamp your feet on the ground when you get up, drink some water, really be in your physical being. Step into water. See what that's like in a cognizant way. Step into a state. Step into, now they're bringing me more, mountains and things like that. You can step into a building or the walls of a sacred space. Have fun with it. Maybe write down a list of things that you could step into. And notice what stepping into that experience is like. It's always unfolding, all of it. Enjoy the journey, and I can't wait to hear what you experience from doing this exercise. Thank you so much.